afraid another bloody negotiation.
Smiles, everyone. We must be careful how we present ourselves.
Why did Divine Victoria call the Exalted Council? She's kept Orlais from bothering us for the last 2 years.
At increasing political cost, yes. She has done all she can, but the Exalted Council has become necessary. Orlais would control us, and based on their many marriage proposals, they have specific plans for you. Our real concern is Ferelden. They would see us disbanded entirely.
Inquisitor, it has been too long. I hope the years have been kind to you.
How have you been, Mother Giselle?
I spent last summer in Emprise du Lion, distributing food sent from the Exalted Plains. The Dales are finally recovering.
Since Corypheus fell, I think you may have spent more time traveling than I have.
It keeps me out of trouble, Your Worship. The Inquisition forces were of great help tending the sick. The Orlesian soldiers at Suladin Keep, somewhat less so. Divine Victoria asked me to greet you on her behalf. She is currently attending to the Ferelden ambassador's concerns.
How do you think Divine Victoria has done these last 2 years?
It is hardly for me to say, Inquisitor.
With respect, that's never stopped you before, Mother Giselle.
Victoria controls the mages for now, but there has been much bloodshed, and the Chantry is far from stable. Many feared a mage as divine would tear the Chantry apart. I hope that Victoria proves them wrong.
You can probably just call her Vivienne in private conversation.
You can, Inquisitor. I prefer to use her divine name. Our last divine once joked about why I insisted upon calling her Justinia. She called it my way of reassuring her that I had not completely forgotten who was in charge.
I'll speak to Divine Victoria.
I believe she would appreciate that, Your Worship. The divine sees the good that you can do and have done. Duke Cyril will wish to greet you on behalf of Orlais. I believe he is currently speaking with the Tevinter ambassador. Many of your friends have returned as well. I hope you have a chance to speak with them before the Exalted Council begins.
The Imperium sent an ambassador?
In a manner of speaking, Your Worship, Dorian Parvus has been declared the Tevinter ambassador.
Who has returned for the Exalted Council?
Your dwarven friend, Master Tetras, for one. I understand he spent much of the last few years in Kirkwall. Enjoy time with them while you can, Your Worship. I doubt you will have the chance once the Exalted Council is underway.
Thank you, Mother Giselle.
Your Worship, a final question, if I may. This Exalted Council, Ferelden would have the Inquisition disband. Orlais sees its power as another feather in a chevalier's helmet. What do you wish to do with the Inquisition?
The Inquisition still has work to do. We can't let someone's fear push us into disbanding.
Then I wish you luck in the negotiations to come. Make a watch over you, Inquisitor. I will not keep you any longer.
You heard
Might be something here. Better take a closer look. Divine Victoria, am I interrupting?
Of course you are, darling, but that doesn't mean the interruption is unwelcome. The Earl of Redcliffe was briefing me on the current situation in Denerim. He represents Ferelden at this summit.
Inquisitor, good to meet you.
How are things in Redcliffe, my lord?
Blessedly quiet. The mayor conveys his greetings. Redcliffe remembers its savior.
I'll try not to keep you from more important matters.
Very well. We'll continue this later, your perfection.
Don't worry, my dear. The Inquisition has the full support of the Chantry at this summit, of course.
When world powers want to discuss plans for the future, I get nervous.
I'm glad you haven't lost your sense of danger. But the powers here are all noise and no teeth. I must make preparations for the summit. My dear, should you need anything, you have but to ask.
I'm glad you finally arrived, Inquisitor. The Crown's anxious for news.
And your thoughts on Ferelden's position?
The breach is long gone, yet Skyhold's army remains. Ferelden can't continue to ignore soldiers on its borders.
I appreciate knowing where Ferelden stands.
You are owed that, Inquisitor, especially here. These Orlesians will talk circles around you before you get a simple greeting out. I won't keep you longer. We'll have words enough when the Exalted Council begins.
Orlais is on your side, Lord Parvus. The Inquisition's support is not a thing to lose lightly.
Which is why the Orlesian court is circling it with a net and collar? But you'll have to excuse me. I see an old friend I must greet. Inquisitor, how long has it been? Don't actually tell me. I despise feeling old. It's good to see you, my friend.
You arrived ahead of me. I hope all's well.
It's everything I expected. We've been spared the burden of surprise. Orlais wants the Inquisition tamed, Ferelden wants it gone, the Chantry meddles, and Tevinter sends but one ambassador. That's me, by the way. A reward for my interest in the South. Thankfully, Ambassador Parvus is a token appointment. Call on me as you like.
Inquisitor, Duke Cyril Montfort, member of the Council of Heralds and Lord of Chateau Haine. I have long followed your work. It is extraordinary.
Is that sentiment shared by the rest of the court?
Of course. Orlais wishes only to offer respectful guidance to the Inquisition.
Does your grace feel the Inquisition should continue to rule itself?
I would rather see the Inquisition join us freely than be carved into pieces for the chessboard. I have not forgotten Justinian's death. I had friends who perished at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. More than the good you have done, it is the good we may do together I don't wish to lose. Whatever happens, Inquisitor, I wish you well.
I can't believe it's been so long.
Around 2 years.
That's it? 2 years? Sweet merciful maker, it felt like 10. That could have been all the wine. Only thing back home I really missed.
Just what we needed. Thank you, Your Holiness. Now, Teagan, as to your concerns...
The Inquisition established an armed presence in Ferelden territory. You outright seized Caer Bronach in Crestwood.
Our goal was to keep more Ferelden citizens from dying, not to seize power.
Your help was appreciated 2 years ago, Inquisitor. Now order has been restored, yet you remain. Invading under pretext of restoring order is exactly what the Grey Wardens did to us centuries ago, and we exiled them. Now the Inquisition is doing the same thing with Grey Wardens in their ranks.
Your concern is ill-founded. The Grey Wardens have proven their worth time and again.
Of course Orlais tolerates this interference. The Inquisition is the only reason Selene still has the throne.
Rest assured, Teagan, the Empire of Orlais will not stand idle if the Inquisition oversteps its bounds. Unlike Ferelden, however, Orlais understands that these were the well-intentioned mistakes of a young organization.
An organization in need of a guiding hand. Yours, no doubt.
Pardon me, Inquisitor. Sister Leliana asked to speak with you in private.
Something has come up. I'll be back.
What?
This is highly irregular.
Are we not even worth the Inquisitor's time?
Inquisitor, I thought you would want to see this. A Qunari warrior in full armor. How did he get into the Winter Palace?
So what would the left hand of the Divine see when she looked at this?
This is a warrior, not a spy. Part of the Antam, the Qunari military. Most of his wounds come from a fight against someone using magic, but at least a few are from a blade. He was badly hurt, separated from his allies, and made it here before he died. But how?
Would the Iron Bull know anything about this?
I asked, and he is as surprised as we are. He says that if this were an official Qunari operation, he would know. That suggests we're dealing with a rogue faction.
We need to find out what's going on. Can Josephine manage the diplomats while I look around?
She will be fine. It's all speeches and posturing for the first few days anyway. I will ask Divine Victoria to call a recess for now. I will also have our friends ready themselves for battle if need be.
You think that's likely?
I think the Exalted Council may be more exciting than we expected.
Looks like he came down over the railing. An active Olympian? If I'm going through it, I'm not going along. This is the Crossroads. Morrigan brought me here while showing me the alluvions.
It's pretty, I guess. Kind of stretchy. Ugh. Too many colors.
Colors? It all looks supremely drab to me.
But there's patterns all over. It's like glass from, where's it? Sorol, isn't it?
I wonder if it somehow looks different to elves.
How would that work? Eyes are eyes, or supposed to be. Oh, stupid place.
Judging by the bloodstains, he tried to get through here.
Is something wrong?
This mirror doesn't look broken, but it's inactive. Maybe there's a way to unlock it. The blood trail leads to this mirror.
Let us see where this Kunari came from.
Elven ruins. I'm not sure we're even in Orlais anymore. Another Kunari, dressed like the one in the Winter Palace.
They must be from the same faction, both girded for war.
Scorch marks everywhere. This is the work of a mage.
The expended energy is remarkable. I'd say the spell was cast within the past hour.
We need to find out why these Kunari were here, and who did this to them. Over there, Kunari. If we want to know why they're here, we've got to get across to that island.
A spirit bound when the elves built this place, because that could never go wrong.
What does it want? I'm afraid I can't understand a word you're saying. I think that spirit considered us intruders.
Maybe it's all the intruding we did? When we intruded?
It must have been set to guard something. That was like veil fire. It claimed this was a refuge for elven slaves.
Slaves? For the elves? The old elves? Pissers.
This whole valley was a sanctuary, created by Dreadwolf Fen'Harel.
Curious, then, that the Dalish speak of Fen'Harel as a monster.
Wounds on the back, no blood on his sword. Someone took him by surprise.
This can't have happened too long ago. The blood's not even dry. This is Fen'Harel helping former slaves as a mortal, not a god.
He took great pains to renounce his supposed divinity.
But Fenny helping is bonkers.
To the Dalish, Fen-Harel is the great deceiver. Perhaps that's propaganda begun by the opposing gods.
This claims the elven gods were just Evanurus. Powerful, but...
Ah! Are you hurt?
I'm not sure. It stopped, at least. This looks like it fits into that pedestal by the broken bridge.